Morning, guys. It's Sunday, the 21st of April. I was meant to post up last night, but yesterday was a bit of a fucking mess, to be honest. So, yesterday basically woke up with issues with my WhatsApp, which is where I communicate with all my clients, and then had to sort of spend the entire afternoon trying to fix it up. Basically, it kept deleting my conversations. I tried to transfer all the data to different phones because for some reason, when the update happened, it removed one of the functions that I like to use a lot, which is the announcement function. So it lets me send off a bulk message to many clients. So that's all fixed up. And then I was ready to go edit the video that I recorded on Thursday, which is a day vlog. And then as I went to go edit it, for some reason the SD card got corrupted. I think maybe on Thursday when I was leaving the warehouse, I quickly just pulled it out. Apparently that causes it. And then spent a few hours trying to recover some of the videos I had shot because it was a full day. Look, it wasn't like it was anything crazy important. It was just a day. So I was like, oh fuck, yeah, I already spent the day recording. I might as well just try to get it back. Ended up wasting a couple of hours on that. So that yesterday was a very unproductive, slightly frustrating day. But I decided to just clear the entire SD card, take today as a fresh start. But yeah, that was an update on yesterday. I also got micro needling done. You probably can't see it because I'm wearing that tinted sunscreen, but it's just a bit red at the moment. Yesterday was pretty itchy and stuff. It wasn't as painful as I thought it was going to be, although it sounded like it would be painful because if you think about just a bunch of needles going over your face, but it was actually really tolerable. So hopefully this starts the healing process with my scarring. And Steph, Dinah's cousin, said I should see her once a month to be able to really clear it up. So I'll make sure I stay on top of that. And the diet stays the same. Although yesterday, I'll be honest, yesterday I ended up sort of eating a bit freely because it was Dinah's sister's birthday, Mary. So had some Vietnamese food and had actually a slice of cake as well. Don't feel too bad today. And don't feel guilty about it whatsoever. But today I'll make sure to get back on track. So yeah, it doesn't spiral out into multiple days of poor eating or anything like that. So I'm gonna do some work first to kickstart the morning, and then I'm not gonna tell you guys what the plan for the day is. I'm just gonna bring you guys along with me. But I'm gonna do some work now, set up a new client, get back to clients, set up all the sort of admin stuff for the new week, and then I'm gonna shoot some progress photos and weekly check-in photos for my coach. So maybe I'll show you how to take progress photos because yeah, I think a lot of people don't actually know how to take good progress photos, and so it's affecting their ability to compare week to week. All right, so I'll talk to you guys again soon. Alright, so first 90-minute work block's all done. Now it's time to send off my progress photos to my coach. So this is how I normally take it. So you'll see tripod set up, and then the natural lighting's coming in, hitting the body like this. So that way you're able to actually get proper lighting. Ideally, when you take weekly progress photos, you want to try to keep the lighting the same every single time. Try to take it at the same time, same days. That way it doesn't vary too much week to week and it makes it a lot easier. For example, if you're taking it, if you're taking your photos one day at night time and you're using artificial lighting, and then the next week, you're doing natural lighting, it can be very hard to compare it. But if you do it the same spot, and roughly the same time, same day, same lighting, it's going to be the most accurate way to assess your physique and to see if you're actually progressing. Now, you just need to find somewhere in the house where there's a big window coming in. And now I know that's not always feasible. Like for a lot of my clients, they might not have that sort of layout in their house, but you just have to make an effort towards finding one spot in the house. And once you find that one spot, you stick to it week to week. But yeah, that's really my tip when it comes to taking progress photos. And when you take it, you want to do front, side, and back. So let me record myself. Relaxed. You won't make any poses. You make sure you're straight onto the camera just like that. So here's how they come out. So side, back, side, front, all four positions. What you also want to make sure is that the angle at which you take the photo is also consistent as well. What you don't want is one week you're doing from bottom up and then it's like it skews the entire photo. You want to try and set it up the same every single week. That's why it's important to find the one spot, because if you find the one spot, it's easier to replicate it. The angle makes a big difference. You don't want to fucking go from top down and also bottom up, because now it's not really showing how the physique would look when someone's looking at you front on. So it makes it hard for your coach to actually assess the progress as well. So yeah, that's really the progress photo process. You just want to make sure, in same day, same time, same position, same poses, same lighting the best that you can. And the best way is just finding a big window in the house where there's natural lighting coming in, getting a cheap tripod, and that way you just pop it there, you don't even move it, and that way it's always the same every single week. And then the next thing is just reminding yourself, set an alarm every Sunday, end of the week, or whenever your coach does your check-in with you, set an alarm for yourself to be able to make sure you take the photos consistently. That's it. Progress photos are important, guys. It makes a very, very big difference. And even if it isn't, it's just, even if you don't see changes, it makes it a lot more memorable. Because when you look back 3 years ago and you compare your photos and you see such a big difference, especially if you're in a fat loss phase or like a fat loss journey yourself, that's probably one of the most rewarding feelings that you can have, because you've seen the hard work that you've put in. You remind yourself of where you once used to be and sort of how far you've come. So that's my little pro tip for you guys to make sure you start taking progress photos better starting today. Yeah, now that that's done, send this off to the coach, then I'll probably have some breakfast and I'll get started on another work block, maybe do a bit of studying, and then from there I'll take you guys with me to the next spot. All right, see you guys again soon. What we're going to do now is have some lunch. So I'm having chicken, rice, and veggies. And then we're going to head to the soccer pitch because Dinah, my girlfriend, is playing her first game in a very, very long time, post knee surgeries. My girlfriend loves soccer. So I'm sure it must mean a lot to her to be able to play soccer again after so many years not being able to play due to her knees. So I'm gonna go, it's just down the road as well, it's like 10 minutes away. So I'll go there, maybe record a little bit if I can. And then go to support her, watch her play, because I've never seen her play besides like videos. And then from there, I'll go to the warehouse because I'm meeting up with a client of mine who's coming down from Canberra. I want to quickly run on here to give you a bit of an update with my training as well. So at the moment, we're trying to work around my knee issues and hip issues now. After the massive squat training block that I had, a very successful one. Got up to 190 back squat and 160 front squat, which is the strongest I've ever been with my squats. I've always wanted really, really strong squats, but every single time I'd get some movement, my hips or my knees would start crumbling down, and then all of a sudden I have to I have to modify it again and pull back. That was by far the best training block I've ever had with my squats in particular, or just training in general, to be honest. It was the most pain-free I've been in a long time, the most enjoyable training that I've been in a long time. And so yeah, I was coming off a very, very good block, and Japan hit, and I wasn't able to get to the gym for like 10 days. And so by the time I got to the gym, it would have made sense for me to go a bit lighter and just sort of ease back into it, just to get some movement going because I was on holiday. But instead I was like, oh nah, if I can get some heavy singles in on my front squats and back squats, I should be okay to try and maintain as much strength as I possibly can. And so the moment I did that, keep in mind it's like snowing, it's like winter, going in there, like I was a little bit cold as I walked to the gym. And obviously I warmed up and everything, but I also took 10 days off such a like intense squat block. Right away on the warm-ups, my knees started hurting. I was like, oh fuck. I was like, oh, here we go. I can already tell it's going to start hurting. But I ended up going ahead doing like a 165 or 160 back squat for a single, which coming off 190 should have been a piece of cake, but it felt very, very hard. And also because it was very painful. And so I stopped there. I did my rest of my workout. I made sure to work around it, thinking that maybe it was just a one-off day. Let's keep in mind, leading into this, I was pain-free, no issues whatsoever. And then I trained again 2 days later, tried to do some front squats, and the same thing happened, same pain. I was like, oh shit, yeah, now we probably hurt it a little bit more than what I thought it was. And then from there, I just kept trying to work through it, just trying to work around it, but it was just very stiff. Thought maybe it was going on holiday, came back, got back to squatting, got back to regular training, and all of a sudden my knees and my hips were not liking any of it. Yeah, so training's been heavily modified as of right now. Injuries are normal, guys. Talk to a lot of people, and especially clients, like the moment they get sort of slightly hurt or there's some sort of pain, all of a sudden they think they have to take like a whole week off training, or they have to give up everything and sort of like baby this injury. I understand, as you train harder, as you get deeper and deeper into the gym, as you move your body in different ways that you're not familiar with, as you handle more loads, the risk of injury goes up. It's just part of the game. It doesn't mean there's anything wrong. It doesn't mean, obviously, if you're doing some dumb shit like what I did when I went to Japan, then yeah, I did something wrong. But it's just part of the journey of becoming someone who trains and trains hard, who trains consistently. And it's important that you understand that, because if you don't, you're always going to be in that sort of mindset like, oh, every single time something goes wrong, like your shoulder starts hurting a little bit, your knees start hurting a little bit, you pull something, you strain something, you start like going into this really like fuck it mentality. And you like, yeah, I've heard people who have taken a whole month off training to like baby their ankle or baby their wrist. It's like, it wasn't necessary. You can work around it. I'm not saying work through the pain. What I'm saying is work around it. And that's where learning more about your body comes into play. Just because you have a sore knee doesn't mean you have to stop training your upper body. Just because you have a sore shoulder doesn't mean you have to stop training everything else. Training hard, whether it's the gym, whether it's sports, whether it's martial arts, whatever it is that you choose to do, the longer you do it, the greater the risk of injury. Like think of the risk. Think of the top athletes in the world. Like if you look, I'm sure if you go on Google and look up their injury history, it's gonna probably be something quite significant. Injuries, in my mind, are what really test the character, really test your commitment. Because like, don't get me wrong, it's frustrating. It's frustrating, for example, coming off of such a good training block, going on holiday, coming back, only to basically be pushed right back down to square one in a way where I can't even squat like 100 kilos without pain. It's frustrating. It's also more frustrating the fact that I've let it happen multiple times. If you're serious about wanting to get better at something, especially when it comes to physical activity and something that requires your energy, you will hurt yourself at some point. It might not be serious. I hope it's not serious, but just know, like, it's completely normal. It'll be more, obviously it'll be impressive if you never hurt yourself or you never get aches and pains. But at the end of the day, it's just unrealistic to assume that something will never happen as you push your limits, as you challenge yourself. Now, if you're just going to the gym or you're just doing things for fun and you're not really taking it seriously, then of course, like the risk of injury goes down. And I'm not saying I'm some sort of pro athlete or anything like that, but I'm saying like I like to train hard. I like to pursue big goals in my training. I like to try new things. For example, like the wrestling thing, most likely I'm going to get hurt at some point. And it might not, I'm hoping it's not serious, but I'm sort of expecting it at some point. And that goes for anything, right? So you don't have to be a pro athlete, right? Or some sort of like meathead. As long as you're serious about wanting to be better, as long as you're serious about wanting to progress in your physical potential, the risk of injury goes up higher. And what you shouldn't do is whenever something goes wrong, or you get some sort of pain, to think the world's falling apart, throw in the towel and be like, fuck it, I'm just going to wait until everything dies off. This journey should not be an on and off switch, right? It's not like you have 6 months of good training and then you have 4 months of just bullshit. Like, even if some months are slower than others, you should always be trying to make yourself one step better, 1% better. And so in this case here, my 1% better might not be hitting a 200 kilo squat anytime soon. It might be just making myself get back to being pain-free and being diligent with my stretching, being diligent with my mobility, being on top of my recovery. That's me being 1% better. It's focusing on my upper body, focusing on my deadlifts. Like, now that I can't push the thing that I wanted to bring up as much, it's time to distribute or allocate some more attention towards the other areas perhaps. Basically, we're still training 4 days a week. I'm eating around 3,000 calories. Food's still monitored because of my skin. Training's modified because of my knees and my hips. Things are definitely looking better. Skin's feeling better. And then the knees are starting to feel a lot better as well. But everything else is going up. Training in the gym's going up. Food's being stable. Performance in my upper body and my deadlifts and hinging in general is going up. So there's no complaints from me. In an ideal world, I wouldn't be hurt and I can do whatever I want and train pain-free like I did the last couple of months. But it's not an ideal world, so now it's just time to figure out how to work around it and then eventually get right back to it. So if you're dealing with your own injuries, it's not the end of the world. In most cases, it's probably not that serious. Like, even though for example, even though I know my knees hurt, I'm still able to squat. It's just not pain-free. And so, like, I'd rather that than not being able to squat at all, right? So there's always a different way to look at it. In most cases, if you're just the general gym goer like I am, and you just want to train hard, every now and again you will feel a little bit more banged up than other times. Completely normal. What you don't want to do is throw in the towel and pretend like the world's falling apart. Just get into the gym, get into your sports, get into your activity, and just do what you can to work around it and stay on top of your recovery. And keep yourself in a positive mindset to keep pushing forward with things. I have no idea where she's playing, so I'm just going to try and look for the uniform, and then, yeah, hopefully it's not too big here. Alright, so leaving the soccer match now. I ended up finishing a bit early, just because the goalkeeper on the opposite side got kneed in the face while trying to prevent a goal. Alright, so heading to the warehouse now, and I've got a client from Canberra who's making a trip. Well, he's originally from Melbourne, but he's moved to Canberra for work, and he's just here visiting his family, and we decided to tee up a session at the warehouse. And I'm going to be training him and his brother. His brother apparently has a wedding coming up. I don't coach him specifically, but they're just together. So I was like, oh, why don't you just invite your brother to come along? He's like, yeah, awesome, that'll be cool. So that should be some fun. We're going to meet up at 4:30. I'll write up a session for both of them. Going to put them through a little bit of pain, I guess, and maybe try to shoot some of the footage if I can. I already got a permission from them, so that should be good. Put this down a little bit. So, yeah, that's the plan. We're going to head there. And today I will probably just be doing a little bit of prep work for the new week. If I can, I'll probably try and shoot some content today as well, because I lost a few of the videos that I recorded on this camera from yesterday's SD card crash. But then, yeah, that's the day. Things have been a little bit, I don't know how to describe it, feeling a little bit lost, I guess. I was hoping getting the warehouse would give me clarity, but I think it's just sort of not made me feel. It wasn't I don't second guess my decision at all, but it's more so like it didn't give me the clarity that I was hoping for, in the sense that yes, I know I need to make it for content. Yes, I know I need to make it look a bit nicer. Yes, I know I need to do this, but it's like the clarity in terms of how to do all that isn't there at the moment, and that sort of like stresses me out, I guess, because I'm always sort of trying to figure out if I'm behind or I'm ahead, or don't get me wrong, like I'm very happy and fortunate to be where I am at the moment, and the progression I've seen in what I think is a short time. Because I see a lot of coaches who really do have a hard time building up their client base. Really do have a hard time understanding how to post content and doing all these things that sort of came a bit more natural. But at the same time, like, I always have this fear that I'm not doing enough, or I'm not trying hard enough, and that I'm going to fall behind at some point. My biggest fear is one day that things can just get taken away, and I don't know how to sort of get back. Like, what if all my clients finish and no one else comes in? What if I just have a really dry few months where nothing's working, nothing I do is working, no leads coming in, no calls being booked, no new clients. That's a massive fear of mine. It's like a feeling of one day things can just get taken away, and I've got the warehouse to pay, then I've got the car to pay, then I've got to it's just, I don't like that feeling of ever taking steps backwards. That's what I'm trying to say. And so that's why I'm so desperately looking for a new mentor, which I have chosen one, by the way. I think I said it I might have said it yesterday, but that's why I'm so desperately always looking for a mentor, and looking for new things to learn, and looking for new things to do. And although I know like the boring stuff is what works, but like what I don't want to feel like is I'm not learning anymore, and instead I'm just sort of doing the same thing, and I'm going to end up getting the same outcomes. And so I need to constantly be looking for something that's going to help me give me another edge. Up till now, I feel like I've been very, very lucky in the sense that I can't confidently tell someone, hey, this is the reason why my business has grown. Like, it's just happened. And so there's always this doubt in my mind that I know what I'm doing, and then at any moment it can just get taken away. It's not even just in the coaching either. It's also in like the fitness stuff. It's also in any other goal I've had growing up. Like I never liked to feel like I didn't have some level of control. It's like something I always have to remind myself of is you're not as good as you think you are. And so like even though I've been very fortunate in the sense that things have moved quite well and quite smoothly, there is always going to be someone who is, there's always going to be that coach who has 10 years on me and has built up their team. I guess like it's a feeling. It's a weird feeling. Like there are some days I feel really good. Like there are some days I feel great, and I feel like I know what I'm doing. Where I can be like, okay, cool. I'm gonna do these things, and it's gonna lead to this thing, and then it's gonna, if I just do this long enough, it's giving me confidence to know that it's gonna eventually lead to this. And you can sort of map it out. But I know it's sort of always planning and just brainstorming. But those days I feel great because I know what I'm doing and where I'm going. But there's a large sum of the week or large sum of the month where I just don't feel very good. And it's always like I'm always on like my back foot in concerns or in fear that, like I said, one day something will just all of a sudden disappear, and I'll just have to start back from ground zero. I'll lose my momentum, and just everything will fucking crumble down and shit. But then there's also a lot of days where I constantly feel like I'm on my back foot, and I'm like chasing things. Like I'm chasing the next step, I'm chasing the next client, I'm chasing what the next growth is. And it's just like those days are the ones that are quite low. Now I'm not complaining about this. Like I know it comes and goes. I talk about, I've talked to my clients a lot about managing your emotions, and don't get me wrong, it doesn't affect me in the sense that it stops me from doing the things I need to be doing. I'll still just sort of, put my head down and do what needs to be done, but at the same time, it's those days where I do second guess myself. They've been happening a lot more as of late. And I picked up like, I might be attaching myself to the wrong metrics of success, or maybe attaching myself to the wrong reasons as to why I do what I do. And so as a result, it starts almost feeling like, feeling like I'm losing the purpose of why I started coaching to begin with. It's something that I think about. Yeah, like I'm not too clear on what I'm feeling and what I'm thinking to articulate it properly just yet. But that's just what's been crossing my mind. There's just been a lot of days, this year in particular, where I just feel lost. I feel like I'm behind, and then I'll just feel like I'll compare myself to coaches who are doing really well, or people who are doing other things doing really well, and then it will just sort of, just sometimes make me feel like I'm not enough, I guess. But that's just a temporary thing. And I know it's me playing. I know it's me sort of the words I'm saying to myself. So I try to snap out of it a lot. Sometimes I have to remind myself, like, you're not behind. You're not ahead. You're sort of exactly where you should be right now. If you want to get ahead, then you have to put in more. And it's just logically breaking it down like that, which helps me a lot, and to have a lot more of that clarity that I'm looking for. But yeah, that's the real reason why I've been looking for a mentor the last few weeks and months. And now that I've found one, it's not that. That's a cool. Just saw a green G-Wagon. Just looking at it right now. I wish I could take it off and show you, but yeah, that's sort of where I'm at the moment. If you understand what I'm saying, let me know. But if not, it's fine. Yeah, I try not to dwell on it too much, because it's like it's not productive to what I'm trying to do. I know at the end of the day, you still have to do what needs to be done. You still have to work. You still have to put in the effort. You still have to do this. So it doesn't take away from the fact that I know that. It's just me, I guess, expressing what's been on my mind. But I'm hoping this mentorship gives me a lot of answers. I hope it gives me a lot of clarity, and at least gives me new focuses. I've been with quite a few mentorships now, and I can confidently say I've taken a little bit away from each thing. I wouldn't say one has just given me everything. It's been taken away a bit from each thing. I think I've been like 3 or 4 mentorships now, just for the business side stuff. I've done multiple courses and different seminars and stuff like that for the fitness stuff, but I'm more talking about the growth of the business. So that's sort of where I'm
where I'm at the moment and how I feel with everything. Yeah, I'm sure things will feel better soon. Yeah, it's never made me, like, I have never sort of second guessed my ability to figure it out. It's more so like, oh shit, today doesn't feel like a good day. Okay, let's see what we can do to help overcome this. And then recently I've obviously picked it up more often, more regularly, and so I contemplate a lot more about what I need to do. And yeah, it was clear that what I think was the big issue was I just stopped learning. I think I just got very comfortable with how things were going, and so I never really tried to continue upskilling. Like when I first started, I was like I was trying to get to I was trying to do everything. I was trying to watch all the YouTube videos as much as I can to learn as much as I could about from everything. I was buying courses. I was, going to seminars. I was joining mentorships. Not even second guessing a single thing in my single thing that it was going to get me to progress at a much more rapid rate than what I'd ever imagined. So that was my, I think that's what's changed a lot, is that I just got very comfortable in me doing the same thing because it was working, and then as a result I just stopped learning. And so I messaged, I saw that, I forgot who said it, but I saw this really good video. I think it was Mark Atobri. No, I've seen it in another video, but I think someone who I've really looked up to, Mark Atobri, who runs Enterprise Fitness. His wife is the naturopath that I'm seeing, but he had a reel come out today, and he was basically giving advice for people who want to open studios. I think he said you have to be like an expert. You have to be an expert, but you also have to be a white belt, right? And so, being an expert means you have to know what you're doing. You have to be confident in your knowledge. You have to be an authoritative figure in the space. But then he also said you need to be a white belt in your pursuit of knowledge, in the sense that you have to constantly be seeking ways to learn. And I think that sort of put how I was feeling into words of what I need to be. I think I just started to become complacent and just sort of settle for things going well. But what do I need to do to make things exceptionally well is a difference. And so, yeah, I think I need to be a white belt again in not only the business stuff, but also just my knowledge in general. Like, I've forgotten a lot of the things I used to learn so much when I first started. Even before I started coaching, I was always interested in pursuing more knowledge. I was always looking at wherever I could get more information. I was trying to learn from people. But I feel like that fire for, more knowledge, more skills has died down, which I don't like. And I only just realized it recently. And so straight away I started looking for different things to buy, to learn, start learning again. So I bought that nutrition course, for example, to start trying to learn again. It's not like an overly complicated nutrition course, it's a short one just to get myself back into the groove of studying again. And then, yeah, I've done this mentorship to have something new to learn. So now it's back into my learning phase, in that learning mode where I want to absorb as much information as I can. And I'm keen to sort of learn more about the tech side of stuff, the technical knowledge side of stuff, meaning the fitness stuff specifically, like beyond just the basic shit, and I want to be able to I want people to see me how I want to be viewed as a coach. I don't want to just be viewed as a successful business coach in that sense, like someone who runs a successful business. I want to be seen as a fucking authoritative figure. I don't mean being, I don't mean being the science guy or anything like that. What I mean by that is I want to be known to be able to get fantastic results and being a great coach. And I can't do that if the only thing I'm concerned about is just simply, how many more clients can I bring in? And I know it's important. Like, I know that's the thing that I need to do, but I think I let go of the idea of wanting to become a better coach for a very long time. Not a very long time, but a brief while. And so I want to get back to that. Because yeah, like I want people to be able to jump on the profile and be like, yeah, this guy knows what he's talking about. Yeah, this guy is definitely someone that I trust to be able to guide me along my journey. And yeah, like I want to provide an experience for clients where they want to tell everyone. I want to get results so good that people share it around. I want to be like, fuck, Derek can get me these results as well. So that's really what I get you to. But I need to upskill there. Like, I can do it. And like, don't get me wrong, I'm very proud of the results that my clients get now. Don't get me wrong, don't get me wrong about that at all. What I mean is, like, I want to be so knowledgeable that the problems that my clients run into, I can confidently address with them every single time. I can confidently be like, yeah, I know what the answer is, or I know how to troubleshoot this for you. or let's find the game plan to be able to figure this out for you. And that's not something, like, I've gotten this far with the knowledge that I have, but I feel like if I don't level that up, I'm gonna be stuck here, and I'll keep working with the same problems. When in reality, I want to be able to expand. I want to be able to know that I can coach all types of clients, not just the one type. That makes sense? So there's some insight into how I'm feeling with things lately, and also where I'm at the moment, what I'm thinking. And if you, like I said, if you sort of resonate with what I'm saying, let me know. Like, what are you sort of stressing about this year? What do you find that you're, overthinking about, or what's constantly on your mind? Because even when I was younger, I felt that whole feeling of being inadequate. Like, I was always, I started getting to full-time work really late. Up until that age, I was just sort of working 1 or 2 shifts at the restaurant. I wasn't really making any money. I wasn't really ambitious. I wasn't really doing anything that was, how should I say it? Like, I wasn't doing anything that was driven, that was purposeful or intentional. And so I always felt like I was behind it, but I knew I wanted more. I just didn't know how to do it, and I had lack of clarity. Like, I would jump thing to thing. I would sort of like tell myself I'll do things and then not to do it. And it's like, I knew I always wanted to do it. It's just the clarity wasn't there. The pathway wasn't there. And I'm starting to feel it now again, because let's say I've gotten to this level, but I want to be here. I'm missing that knowledge to get to the next level. And that's where I'm trying to fill in the gaps now with the education and also with the business stuff as well.
That was quick, right? We're not slowing down yet. Come on, catch your breath and go again. Less breath at the top. 3, 2, pause, up. Okay. Now, squat up, big breath, and one more, last one. Slow. Up. There you go, come on. That was good. Yeah. Let's go. 3, 2, 1, up. Good, 11, one breath. 3, 2, chin up, 1, up. Good. Let's go, one more. Last one. Drive your head up to the ceiling. Drive it up, finish it up. There, go again. One breath, go down. Up. There, done.
Let me show you how to set up, actually, because I think as you get stronger, you need to set up your dumbbells properly.
Yeah.
So, let's say you're going like a lot heavier than where you, like, as you get stronger, right?
Yeah.
All you want to do is just set it on your lat first,
Yep.
then just flick it back, and just there. Yeah, you don't want to lift it. You don't want to sort of fling it and then lift it up like here, because now you're unstable.
Right. Okay.
So always let it go onto your chest and then sit back. Then when you finish, right, you can just press like this, right? Swing your legs up, and the weight will just drift you forward like that. Like this. This goes with any weight that you want to use.
Okay.
So always at the top.
Okay.
Then the only other thing I would say was when you're pressing, try not to like breathe out as you're pressing. Instead, it's just like breathe out at the top. Yeah. Sometimes when you're doing the higher rep sets, even holding your breath for like multiple reps, you can do it. Yeah. Good. 3, 2, pause. Up. Good. All you want to focus on is literally the movement at the hips. It's not a lower back. You're not trying to focus on your lower back. You're trying to focus on here. It's just whether it pulls back and whether it pulls forward. That's how you lower yourself with the deadlift. It's a bit different with sumo, because sumo you're obviously more upright. You don't need as much hip flexion. So this part here. What people do is they'll think it's just bending down at the lower back. You want to sort of imagine pushing your butt back to the back wall immediately. Yeah. So it's like almost imagining, when you push. When you close the car door with your ass? You can't do it if you just squat down and try and push it. You have to push your butt back. Yeah. It's the exact same motion. So it's another way to explain it is like you imagine someone with a rope behind you and then just pulling you at your hips. That's the best way to explain it. Yeah. Yep. But keep that chest and shoulder. Yeah. There you go. There. You want to keep that lower back tight. Yeah. Go back up. Good. After 2 more reps at that range, see if you can get any deeper. It should feel a lot more comfortable. Nice. Nice. Good, man. Good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All of a sudden you get more range, right? There. Don't go too deep because once you can't see it, but if I showed you a video, the moment you push your butt back and then you loosen up, that's when you've maxed out your active range of your hamstrings. So push that butt back as far as you can, and once you can't, then that's your range. Around there, yeah? Yeah, and then back up. The way you come up is you imagine someone's pulling a string. Just imagine someone's pulling the string in front of you. So it's all just a string like this. Back, up. Good. And someone's pulling you forward like this. Hips through. Conventional deadlift and a Romanian deadlift is literally just the knee bend. So Romanian deadlift, no knee bend, or slight knee bend like this, and you get that range there. But then a conventional deadlift, chest up. That's it, bro. That's literally the only difference. That's only it. Because like now, every other cue stays the same. The only thing is Romanian deadlift, you're starting from the top and you're stretching it. But from conventional deadlift, you're starting from the bottom, but you just have slightly more knee bend. Yeah, we're getting there. Come on, come on. Come on, go right down, come on. Don't touch my arm. Yeah, like that, go again, go again, go again, go again.
Oh my God.
Come on, come on. Yeah, go again, go again, go again. Lean back. Last one, come on. Don't touch my hand. And try. Yeah.
Oh.
This is your last step of the day. We're getting there, come on. Don't touch my arm. Yeah, there you go, there you go. That's it, that's what we want to get to, yeah?
Hopefully you guys enjoyed some of the snippets from the session I had with Akshay and his brother. But that was a great session. I absolutely love when clients, or just seeing people train hard in general, and they've never really pushed themselves to that limit because it's like an eye-opener for them. Like, for example, Akshay did a really hard set of Smith machine squats, and and it was really him pushing his limits, and then it got to, I think, 13 or 14 reps, and I told him we're finished. I asked him afterwards, what do you think you would have stopped at if you were by yourself or if you didn't have me pushing you? And he's like, I probably would have stopped at 6 reps. And that's just like, that's not even just him, it happens a lot with people. Like they think they're at their sort of physical potential or capacity, and then they just pull back and they just hold themselves back for so long because they never really challenge themselves. And physical activity or exercise in general is one of the best things you can do to not only improve the body, improve your physical health, cardiovascular health, but it's also one of the best things you can do for your mind, as you hear people say all the time. But for me, the gym is one of those things that you can really push yourself in, and what you put in is what you get out. The days where I train and the days where I push myself and I train hard, even though I didn't feel like it, or even though I didn't want to, or I exceeded my own expectations of my own training session, for that day, I just don't feel like a lazy piece of shit, basically. I feel great. Even if everything else went wrong, if I had a great workout, I'll be like, yeah, today is a good day because I pushed myself. I did something that I didn't think I wanted to do. I did something that I didn't think I could do, and I proved myself wrong. Now, you can do that with you can do that with any other sport. You can do that with martial arts. You just have to find something that pushes you and you want to commit to and challenges you in that same sort of dynamic, in that same sort of way, because otherwise you're just always going to be held at your own limitations, and you need something that's going to sort of show you otherwise. Something that's also very acute, like you can have a fucking great session and feel so good after it, and you can have you go for like a massive run and really push yourself and push your limits and hit a PR and feel fantastic after it as well. And so, but it's not only about the physical health improvements, it's also from the mental health side of stuff as well. Like, you just feel like a different person when you start pushing yourself and doing these things. So I just finished up a work block. I responded to clients, edited videos, set up the content for the new week. I didn't actually study today, which is, I'm not gonna beat myself up over it. I wanted to sort of chill out today, even though yesterday was lazy as well. I basically just did what I need to do in terms of setting myself up for the new week and make sure I, service my clients. And then now I'm just gonna go dinner with my friends. They asked me just before, so I think today wasn't a super productive day, but it was a very relaxed day, and it will set me up for the new week. I'll definitely get stuck into the mentorship and making sure we're starting to switch on because a new month's coming up. I want to make sure we're ready to go for that. So yeah, today will just be relaxed and hopefully eat some good food that doesn't fuck my skin, and then go home, maybe watch a movie, and then go to sleep and start the new day tomorrow. If you've watched this far, thank you again for your time, for tuning in, and I'll make sure to see you guys in the next one. See ya.
Is the place mine, mate?
My name's Stefan. I'm one of Derek's clients.
You know-
I've lost Derek's clients.